The internet doesn't just break anymore, it detonates. And tonight, you're stepping into the blast zone. Because when Candace Owens decides she's had enough, she doesn't whisper, she doesn't hint, and she definitely doesn't back down. She goes nuclear. Fans are shocked, timelines are on fire, and a once quiet personal story has allegedly erupted into a full-blown public spectacle involving accusations, loyalty tests, and one question that won't stop echoing. Were kids really left behind for a new man? It all started with a single clip, just seconds long, circulating late at night. Candace, eyes locked on the camera, voice low but razor sharp, dropped a line that sent shockwaves across social media. "I'm done protecting grown adults from the consequences of their own choices," she said. No names at first, no receipts yet, just enough to make everyone lean in. And lean in they did. Within hours, fans were connecting dots, replaying old posts, dissecting cryptic captions, and zooming in on smiles that suddenly didn't look so innocent anymore. By sunrise, one name was trending alongside Candace's, Kirk. Emotions ran high as speculation exploded. Was this about family? About betrayal? About a private decision dragged into the public square? Then came the livestream. Candace returned, this time with fire in her tone and no patience left. "When children are involved," she said, pausing just long enough to let the tension choke the room, "nobody gets to play victim." The chat went wild. Hearts, flames, broken heart emojis flooding the screen. Fans are shocked not just by the implication, but by how personal this suddenly felt. Friends allegedly scrambled behind the scenes. Text messages flew. Group chats lit up with panic and disbelief. Some urged restraint. Others whispered that the truth had been buried for too long. And somewhere in the middle of it all, a family was left divided, at least according to those watching from the outside, piecing together fragments in real time. Was this a misunderstood comment blown out of proportion? Or the beginning of an exposé no one saw coming? As accusations hovered in the air and silence from the other side only fueled the flames, one thing became clear: this wasn't just another internet spat. This was personal, this was messy, and this was only the beginning. The moment the livestream ended, the silence felt louder than the shouting that came before it. Comments were still flying, screens were still glowing, but behind the scenes the phones started ringing in a way that meant trouble. Candace leaned back in her chair, jaw tight, eyes burning with a mix of anger and resolve. She knew exactly what she had just set off. There was no walking it back now. What had been whispered in private circles was now spilling into public view, and fans were shocked by how fast everything unraveled. Within minutes, clips were ripped from the stream and reposted with dramatic captions. "She finally said it. This is about the kids." Erica exposed. Emotions ran high as people who had never met either woman suddenly felt personally invested. Some fans cheered Candace on, calling her brave for saying what others wouldn't. Others accused her of crossing a line, of dragging family matters into the spotlight for clicks. The family was left divided, at least in the court of public opinion, and the night was far from over. Candace's phone buzzed again. A text from a mutual friend. "You didn't have to go that far." She stared at it, then locked the screen without replying. In her mind, the images replayed over and over again. Late-night conversations, unanswered calls, stories she claimed she had been told in confidence. She felt justified, convinced that silence would have made her complicit. If people are uncomfortable, she muttered to herself, maybe it's because the truth is. Across town, Erica sat frozen on her couch, the glow of her tablet reflecting in her wide eyes. She hadn't planned to watch the livestream. Someone had sent her the link with a single message: "You need to see this now." As Candace's words echoed through the speakers, Erica's stomach dropped. She felt like the air had been knocked out of her lungs. How could she? Erica whispered, shaking her head. In her version of events, the story was far more complicated, layered with pain, sacrifice, and decisions she claimed were made out of necessity, not selfishness. Her phone began to vibrate nonstop. Messages from friends, from family, from people she hadn't heard from in years. Some were supportive. "Stay strong. Don't let them drag you." Others were brutal. "Is it true? What about the kids?" Every notification felt like another accusation. Erica stood up and paced the room, running her hands through her hair. She felt exposed, cornered, and furious. "She doesn't get to rewrite my life," she said out loud, voice cracking. Meanwhile, fans were already digging. Old photos resurfaced, timelines reconstructed, every smile scrutinized for hidden meaning. People debated whether a new relationship had really come at the cost of motherhood, or whether this was just another example of public figures projecting their own judgments onto private lives. Emotions ran high as strangers argued like they were part of the family themselves. Live streams popped up everywhere, influencers weighing in with hot takes, some pretending neutrality while clearly picking sides. Candace's supporters framed the situation as a moral reckoning. They claimed she was speaking up for children who didn't have a platform, suggesting that certain choices were being glossed over by carefully curated social media posts. "Someone had to say it," one fan declared in a viral clip. "You don't just move on and forget responsibilities." On the other side, Erica's defenders fired back just as hard. "You don't know what happens behind closed doors," another voice shot back. "Judging a mother from a screen is cruel." Behind all the noise were the people at the center of the storm, trying to make sense of how a private rift had turned into public theater. Candace called a close confidant, her voice softer now, the adrenaline wearing off. "I didn't plan it like this," she said, "but I'm not sorry." The confidant sighed on the other end. "You've lit a match," they warned. "And everyone's standing too close to the fire." Erica, meanwhile, drafted and deleted statement after statement. Every version felt wrong, too defensive, too vague, too emotional. She worried that anything she said would only feed the frenzy. Yet staying silent felt like admitting guilt. "They're painting me as a villain," she told her sister over the phone, tears threatening to spill. "And no one is asking why I made the choices I made." Her sister urged her to breathe, to wait, but Erica could already feel the narrative slipping out of her control. As dawn crept closer, the drama showed no signs of slowing. Hashtags trended worldwide. Reaction videos piled up by the minute. Some speculated that Candace had more to reveal, hinting at receipts and stories yet untold. Others claimed Erica was preparing her own explosive response. The suspense hung thick in the air, and fans refreshed their feeds obsessively, waiting for the next move. Candace sat alone, scrolling through comments with a conflicted expression. Praise and condemnation blurred together into one relentless stream. She told herself she had done the right thing, that sometimes being the villain in someone else's story was the price of speaking out. Yet even she couldn't ignore the weight of what was unfolding. These weren't just talking points. These were real lives, real relationships, and children whose names were now being invoked by strangers. Erica finally stopped pacing and sat down, staring straight into her phone's camera without pressing record. She imagined what she would say if she went live. She imagined defending herself, explaining the nights she cried, the decisions that haunted her. "I didn't abandon anyone," she whispered to the empty room. "I survived," but she also knew that survival stories didn't always play well online, especially when set against accusations framed as moral outrage. By the time the sun rose, both women were bracing for what came next. The lines had been drawn, sides chosen, and the story had taken on a life of its own. Fans were shocked by how deeply personal the drama had become, and yet they couldn't look away. Emotions ran high, the family was left divided in the public eye, and everyone sensed that this was only the opening act of a much bigger storm. The next morning felt heavier than the last, like the air itself was thick with unresolved tension. Erica barely slept, her mind replaying her own words on a loop, wondering which sentence would be twisted next. She scrolled through comments she told herself she wouldn't read. Some were kinder now, filled with hesitant understanding. Others were ruthless, accusing her of manipulation, of rehearsed tears, of hiding behind motherhood as a shield. Emotions ran high, and each comment felt like a small cut, not fatal on its own but exhausting in their sheer number. Candace, meanwhile, woke up energized. Controversy had always fueled her, and this was controversy on a grand scale. She spoke on the phone with allies who encouraged her to keep pressing. "People are listening," one said. "Don't let her rewrite history." Candace nodded even though they couldn't see her. "I won't," she replied. This is bigger than her feelings. In her mind, she framed the situation as a necessary confrontation, one that exposed uncomfortable truths society preferred to ignore. By midday, a new twist emerged. An anonymous source claiming to be close to the family dropped a series of cryptic posts. No names, just insinuations about broken promises and last chances. The internet did the rest, immediately linking it back to Erica. Fans were shocked by how quickly anonymous whispers became accepted facts. Erica felt the ground shifting beneath her again. "This is never going to end," she said quietly, staring at the screen. Her sister looked worried. "It won't," she admitted, "unless something changes." Friends who had stayed silent until now began choosing sides publicly. One longtime acquaintance posted a vague message about standing up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable. Another fired back with a rant about compassion and private struggles. The family was left divided not just in public perception but within their own circles. Erica felt betrayed by people she thought understood her. Candace felt validated by those echoing her stance. The lines grew sharper, the middle ground disappearing. A late afternoon interview clip resurfaced from years earlier, showing Erica talking about balancing love and responsibility. Taken out of context, it seemed to support Candace's narrative. Reaction channels jumped on it immediately. "She told us who she was," one commentator said dramatically. Erica watched the clip, heart sinking. "That's not what I meant," she whispered. But meaning didn't matter anymore. Only impact. Candace retweeted the clip with a single word in uppercase. Exactly. The response was explosive. Her supporters flooded the replies with fire emojis and declarations of victory. Critics accused her of piling on, of refusing to show grace. Candace felt the familiar rush of dominance in the discourse, but somewhere deep down, a small voice questioned how far was too far. She ignored it. Behind the scenes, Erica received a call from someone unexpected, someone connected to Candace but not fully aligned with her. "This has gone too far," the voice said cautiously. "People are getting hurt." Erica laughed bitterly. "Now you see that?" she replied. "I've been hurting since this started." The caller suggested mediation, a private conversation to de-escalate. Erica hesitated. The idea of speaking directly to Candace again filled her with dread, but it also felt like the only way out. Candace was approached with the same suggestion later that evening. She listened, arms crossed, expression guarded. "Why should I soften now?" she asked. She went public. The intermediary replied carefully. "You both did." The words lingered. Candace dismissed the idea outwardly, but it gnawed at her. She prided herself on strength, not stubbornness, yet backing down felt like surrender. As night fell, Erica posted a simple message. No explanations, no defenses. Just a plea. "My children are not content. Please stop." The post went viral within minutes. Reactions were mixed. Some applauded her for drawing a boundary. Others accused her of emotional manipulation. Emotions ran high once again, the cycle repeating itself with brutal efficiency. Candace read the post in silence. For the first time since this began, she didn't respond immediately. Memories surfaced of her own childhood, moments she rarely discussed. She pushed them away, reminding herself why she believed she was right. Still, the image of children caught in the crossfire unsettled her more than she expected. The following day brought another escalation. A leaked audio clip, grainy and incomplete, surfaced online. Voices were hard to identify, but the implications were clear enough to ignite fresh outrage. Erica denied its authenticity, calling it edited and misleading. Candace questioned why Erica seemed to have an explanation for everything. Fans were shocked by the sheer volume of evidence suddenly appearing, each piece deepening the divide. Legal experts began weighing in, warning about defamation and privacy. Some urged both sides to step back before things turned irreversible. But the drama had its own momentum now, driven by algorithms and appetite. Every pause felt like anticipation, every statement like fuel. Erica felt cornered. She considered walking away from social media entirely, disappearing until the storm passed. But she feared silence would be interpreted as guilt. Candace felt equally trapped, aware that any sign of hesitation would be seized upon by critics. Both women were locked in a public standoff, each move scrutinized, each emotion amplified. Late that night, Erica sat alone, scrolling through old photos of her children, tears sliding silently down her face. "I just wanted peace," she whispered. Candace, across town, stared at her reflection in a darkened screen, asking herself when speaking out turned into something that felt so heavy. The story was no longer just about accusations. It had become a mirror, reflecting fears, values, and wounds neither woman had fully confronted. And as the audience waited, breath held, one thing was clear. This chapter had only deepened the conflict, setting the stage for an even more explosive confrontation still to come. The fallout from the leaked audio refused to fade, even as questions about its authenticity grew louder. Commentators argued over waveforms and pauses like amateur detectives, while viewers picked sides based on gut feeling rather than proof. Erica felt like she was screaming into a void. Every denial she issued was met with suspicion. Of course she'd say that, critics wrote. Emotions ran high, and truth felt secondary to whichever version satisfied the loudest crowd. Candace addressed the controversy with a calculated calm that only intensified reactions. She didn't explicitly confirm the clip, but she didn't dismiss it either. "Patterns don't lie," she said during another appearance, staring straight into the camera. "People reveal who they are over time." That line alone sparked thousands of reaction posts. Supporters praised her restraint. Critics accused her of insinuation without accountability. The family was left divided yet again, with even neutral observers feeling pressure to choose a side. Behind the scenes, legal conversations began to surface. Erica's attorney advised her to stop engaging publicly, warning that the situation was edging into dangerous territory. "You can't win a trial on social media," he told her bluntly. Erica nodded, exhausted, but stepping back felt impossible when her reputation was unraveling in real time. "If I disappear," she said, voice trembling, "they'll say it's because I'm guilty." Candace received similar counsel from her own team. Sponsors were quietly asking questions. Collaborators expressed discomfort. "This is getting too personal," one warned. Candace bristled at the suggestion. "Everything is personal," she snapped. "That's the point." Still, the pressure was mounting, and for the first time, consequences beyond applause and backlash felt real. A surprising voice entered the conversation when a former family friend of Erica's posted a long, emotional thread. They described years of struggle, moments of sacrifice, and a version of Erica that didn't match the villainous caricature spreading online. The post went viral almost instantly. Fans were shocked by the contrast. "Why didn't we hear this before?" some asked. Others dismissed it as damage control. Emotions ran high as the narrative wobbled, no longer as one-sided as it once seemed. Erica read the thread through tears. Finally, she whispered, but relief was short-lived. Candace's supporters countered with their own witnesses, people claiming first-hand knowledge of neglect and prioritizing romance over responsibility. Timelines clashed. Stories contradicted each other. Truth became fragmented, splintered into competing realities depending on who was telling it. Candace responded to the thread with visible irritation. "Funny how everyone finds their voice when they're called out," she said during a heated segment. "Where was this energy before?" Her words reignited outrage, undoing any momentum Erica had gained. The back and forth felt endless, like a tug of war with no referee. Late one evening, an unexpected development shifted everything. Erica posted a video not addressing Candace directly, but speaking softly about accountability, regret, and growth. She admitted to mistakes without specifying accusations. "I am not perfect," she said, eyes steady. "I've made choices I wish I could redo. But abandonment is not one of them." The tone was different, less defensive, more reflective. Viewers paused, unsure how to react. Some critics softened, sensing sincerity. Others accused her of rebranding mid-crisis. Candace watched closely, expression unreadable. Something about the video unsettled her. It didn't fit the narrative she had built so carefully. Doubt crept in, unwelcome and persistent. She pushed it aside publicly, but privately, questions surfaced she hadn't allowed herself to ask. The next day, Candace was asked directly whether she believed Erica could change. The question caught her off guard. She hesitated, just a fraction too long. "People can change," she said slowly, "but that doesn't erase the past." The clip spread rapidly. Fans dissected the pause more than the words. Emotions ran high as people speculated whether this signaled a shift or just strategic ambiguity. Pressure intensified on both sides to de-escalate. Mutual acquaintances pushed harder for a private conversation, warning that continued escalation would leave permanent scars. Erica was open to it now, drained by weeks of conflict. Candace resisted, wary of appearing to retreat. Yet the idea lingered, heavy and unavoidable. A breaking point came when a school-related rumor involving Erica's children began circulating, entirely unverified but deeply invasive. Erica was devastated. She broke down completely, calling her lawyer in tears. "This has crossed a line," she said. The family was left divided, but many viewers finally agreed that boundaries had been shattered. Candace saw the rumor and felt a jolt of unease. This wasn't what she wanted, she told herself. She issued a rare statement condemning speculation about children. "Leave them out of it," she said firmly. Reactions were mixed. Some praised her for drawing a line. Others accused her of hypocrisy, saying she had opened the door herself. The internet paused, just slightly. The noise dipped, replaced by a tense stillness. Erica noticed the shift and seized the moment to step back entirely, announcing a temporary hiatus from public platforms. "For my family," she wrote. Fans were shocked, wondering if this was the end or just another chapter. Candace faced a choice: continue pressing forward and risk being seen as relentless, or allow the story to cool and lose control of the narrative. She weighed her options carefully, aware that either path carried risk. The drama had evolved beyond a simple clash into something more complex, messier, and harder to resolve. As days passed without Erica's presence, speculation filled the vacuum. Some claimed she was hiding. Others argued she was finally protecting her peace. Candace remained active but noticeably restrained, her commentary shifting toward broader themes rather than direct attacks. Emotions still ran high, but the tone had changed, signaling that the conflict was entering a new, uncertain phase. Both women felt the weight of what had transpired. The accusations, the defenses, the collateral damage. Nothing felt clean or resolved. And as the audience waited for the next move, it became clear that whatever happened next would define not just this story, but how both women would be remembered long after the noise faded. The silence after Erika's hiatus announcement felt deceptive, like the calm before another storm. Without her voice in the mix, others rushed to fill the gap. Bloggers speculated about secret meetings, legal threats, and emotional breakdowns. Some claimed Erika had fled to protect herself, others insisted she was being advised to prepare a major comeback. Fans were shocked by how quickly absence itself became a narrative weapon. Emotions ran high as every day without a post was treated like proof of something sinister. Candace watched the speculation unfold with a complicated mix of satisfaction and unease. On one hand, the pressure had eased. On the other, she could feel the spotlight narrowing on her. With Erika silent, every word Candace spoke carried more weight. She adjusted her tone, focusing on broader cultural themes, but listeners still read between the lines. She's backing off, some said. She's waiting to strike, others argued. The family was left divided even in Erika's absence, proof that the story had grown bigger than the people at its center. Behind closed doors, Candace's team urged caution. The audience is fatigued, one advisor said. Another attack could turn them against you. Candace bristled at the suggestion but listened. She knew the cycle well. Outrage burned hot, then burned out. Staying relevant meant choosing the right moment. I won't apologize for telling the truth, she said firmly. But I won't chase chaos either. It sounded resolute, yet even she wasn't sure which side of the line she stood on anymore. Erika spent her days offline, focusing on her children, trying to reclaim routines that had been shattered. School drop-offs felt different now, every glance from another parent loaded with imagined judgment. She kept her head down, reminding herself why she stepped away. Still, the urge to defend herself never fully disappeared. Late at night, she drafted messages she never posted, replaying arguments in her mind. I deserve to be heard, she whispered. But so did her children deserve peace. A new development reignited everything when a prominent commentator released a long-form video claiming to have spoken with multiple sources. The video painted a murky picture, suggesting that both women were guilty of letting personal grievances spiral out of control. Fans were shocked by the shift in tone. For the first time, blame was being distributed rather than concentrated. Emotions ran high as viewers debated whether this was fairness or false equivalence. Candace responded cautiously, acknowledging that the situation had become messy. When things go public, they rarely stay pure, she said. Some interpreted this as maturity. Others accused her of deflecting. Erika remained silent, but those close to her said the video had shaken her. They're finally admitting it's complicated, she told her sister. Why couldn't that have happened sooner? Rumors of a private conversation between Candace and Erika began circulating again, stronger this time. A leaked message, origin unclear, suggested that intermediaries were pushing hard for resolution. Fans speculated wildly. Some hoped for reconciliation. Others demanded accountability instead. The family was left divided over what closure should look like. Was it an apology, a joint statement, or simply walking away? Candace wrestled with the idea privately. She replayed moments from the beginning, questioning whether the nuclear approach had been necessary. She still believed in her core argument, but she couldn't deny the collateral damage. Maybe I should have handled it differently, she admitted quietly to a confidant, then quickly added, but that doesn't mean I was wrong. The distinction mattered deeply to her. Erika, too, faced hard truths. She acknowledged to herself that some choices had been messy, that optics mattered more than she wanted to admit. I thought people would understand, she said softly. I forgot how unforgiving they can be. Emotions ran high as she confronted the gap between intention and perception. The internet had turned that gap into a battlefield. Then came another twist. A scheduled appearance Candace had months earlier suddenly resurfaced in promos, and viewers anticipated whether she would address the controversy head-on. Ratings projections soared. Anticipation buzzed across platforms. Will she say her name? People asked. Will she apologize or double down? Fans were shocked by how much power a single appearance seemed to hold. When the day arrived, Candace walked on set composed, polished, and clearly aware of the moment. The host asked about recent events, framing it as a question about responsibility in public discourse. Candace paused, choosing her words carefully. I believe in accountability, she said. For everyone involved, including myself. The statement sent shockwaves. Emotions ran high as viewers debated whether this was a softening or strategic vagueness. She continued, acknowledging that children should never become collateral damage. She stopped short of naming Erica, but the implication was unmistakable. Some praised her for growth. Others accused her of saying just enough to seem reasonable without conceding anything real. The family was left divided yet again, reading entirely different meanings into the same sentences. Erica watched the appearance in silence, heart-pounding. Part of her felt vindicated. Another part felt frustrated. She still didn't say it, Erica said. She still didn't own the harm. Her sister nodded. But she moved, she said. And that matters. Erica wasn't sure it did. Closure felt close but still out of reach. Days later, Erica broke her silence with a brief message. Not a comeback, not a rebuttal. Just a reflection. She wrote about learning the cost of public battles, about choosing healing over vindication. She didn't name Candace either. Fans were shocked by the restraint. Emotions ran high as some applauded the maturity while others begged for more details. The response was mixed but calmer than before. The constant roar softened into a hum. Candace acknowledged the post indirectly, liking a comment about growth and accountability. It was a small gesture, but viewers noticed. Speculation flared one last time about whether this signaled peace or merely a pause. Behind the scenes, both women felt exhausted. The adrenaline that once fueled their certainty had drained away, leaving behind reflection and lingering questions. Had the truth been served? Had justice been done? Or had everyone simply learned how destructive public conflict could be? As the weeks passed, the story slowly slipped from the front page, replaced by the next outrage. But for those involved, the impact lingered. Relationships strained, reputations altered, lessons learned the hard way. The drama had transformed them, whether they liked it or not. And while the audience moved on, fragments of the story remained, resurfacing in comments and compilations, reminders of a moment when emotions ran high, fans were shocked, and a family was left divided under the glare of public judgment. The conflict hadn't ended cleanly. It had simply faded, unresolved in the ways that matter most, leaving behind silence heavy with everything that was never fully said. And now it's your turn. You've watched the fallout unfold, heard every accusation, every denial, every carefully chosen word and every explosive silence in between. You've seen how quickly a private conflict can turn into a public war, how emotions ran high, how fans were shocked, and how a family was left divided right before your eyes. But the biggest question still hangs in the air, unanswered and uncomfortable. Who do you believe, and why? This story isn't just about two names trending on your screen. It's about judgment, accountability, and the power of public opinion. It's about how fast narratives form and how hard they are to escape once they do. As you listened, did you feel yourself choosing sides? Did your opinion shift as new twists emerged? Or did the entire saga leave you questioning how much of what we see online is ever the full truth? Maybe you think Candace was right to speak out, to force a conversation no one wanted to have. Maybe you believe Erica was unfairly dragged, reduced to a headline instead of a human being. Or maybe you think both sides crossed lines that can't be uncrossed. Whatever you feel, one thing is clear. This drama struck a nerve, and it did so because it reflects something bigger than gossip. It reflects how we react when real lives collide with public platforms. Now ask yourself this. If you were in their place, would you have stayed silent, or would you have gone nuclear too? Would you defend yourself at all costs, or walk away to protect what matters most? These are easy questions to ask from behind a screen, but much harder when the spotlight is burning and the world is watching your every move. This is where you come in. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Not just a hot take, but a real opinion. Who do you think handled this better? Who crossed the line first? Do you think this could have ended differently if it stayed private, or was this explosion inevitable from the start? Your voice matters here, and this conversation doesn't end when the video does. If this story kept you hooked, if you found yourself replaying moments and questioning motives, make sure you hit that like button. It tells us you want more deep dives into the drama everyone's afraid to talk about. And if you're not already subscribed, now's the time. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next, because stories like this never truly disappear. They resurface, they evolve, and sometimes, they explode all over again. Turn on notifications so you're always first to know when a new chapter drops. Trust us, you don't want to be the last one catching up when the next twist hits and emotions run high all over again. Most importantly, remember this. Behind every viral clip and every trending hashtag are real people dealing with real consequences. Debate fiercely, but think deeply. Choose sides if you must, but don't forget the human cost of public judgment. So comment below, share this video with someone who needs to see it, and stay right here with us. Because if there's one thing this saga proves,